Herzlich willkommen zur 4. Episode von Postmortem. Es wird bald Zeit, unsere Entscheidung zu treffen, habe ich das Gefühl, weil wir haben nur mit einem Charakter noch nicht geredet. Jetzt will ich aber den 5-Punkte-Plan, der liegt doch da irgendwo immer rum, den will ich jetzt nochmal genau anschauen. Wo ist er gesehen? Ah, genau da. The new 5-point plan, what the future holds for Galicia. With tensions high as we approach the 5th year anniversary of the Galician turmoil, Prime Minister Connolly is planning to unveil a new 5-point plan to bring a ceasefire and embark on path to reconciliation. Will this new plan succeed? The pro-old age culture unforgotten coalition, now holding 35% of the population vote, will need a lot of convincing after the insult they saw Macdillan's plan to be 2 years ago. Even less likely is the militant Trenter Freedom Force agreeing to any ceasefire pending negotiations. Only a new, open-minded leadership could sway the group's agenda at this point. Things are equally grim on the other side of the fence, with People of Progress, now close to 40% of popular vote, still vehemently against compromising its strongly pro-New Age platform. With political donations from powerful players such as the Thatchers, those key figures will undoubtedly have to be swayed first. Regardless of the plan's outcome, the coming weeks will play a crucial role in Galicia's future. With so many influences, a single key speaker or a single swayed opinion could have far-reaching consequences. The turmoil is as likely to come to a peaceful end as to extend by many more violent years. Even so, rebuilding and reconciliation will be a difficult process requiring much open-mindedness on part of various institutions. A real challenge given the recent vandalism of the fully integrated Rose Hill High. But perhaps the school can dispel our fears and prove a model for the future. Okay, es sagt uns nur nochmal, dass wir einfach dass wir vorsichtig sind mit unserer Wahl. Aber das ist doch ein Mr. Selden, sein Wohnzimmer. Und der will aber... Ich glaube, der einzige, den wir noch nicht geredet haben, ist der da mit dem Schurz.
What can I do for you?
John Dowers, how can I help you? Tell me about yourself. I am John Dower, just a local watchmaker, not quite as skilled as my father if you might have heard of him. He passed away some years ago, unfortunately. Have you considered other pursuits? Well, I have been finding science and philosophy quite interesting as of late. Maybe because I've worked with watches so much, I've been reading a lot about theory of time and such. Perhaps if making watches isn't your passion, you should focus more on your scientific interests. You really think so? I have been musing over some theories and ideas in my spare time. Perhaps I should develop them a bit more. That is all I wanted to know about you. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I saw that waiter man leave a key behind. I think it's to the stuff storage. Do you know where he might be wandering around? Ah, genau, gibt er mir. Oh, I was actually just about to speak with him. Just give it to me and I will pass it on. Oh, Ground, thank you for sparing me having to talk to him. Why don't you want to talk to him? Oh, he's just so chatty, and when he gets on the topic of the workers' fight, what about it? He complains so much about exploitation and the upper class putting him down. Can't he just enjoy his craft for craft's sake? Everybody deserves to be treated equally. I suppose so. Let's talk about something else. How do you feel about the conflict? Well, I prefer not to get involved with the politics. Surely you must have an opinion. I mean, I do believe the turmoil is a terrible thing to happen to Galicia, But what can a simple man like me realistically do? Keep making my watches and hope for better. You're wrong. It's up to the little man to stand up and fight for what's right. Even with no power, no influence, no weapons, and do we not have own jobs to cater to, families to spend the time with, or hobbies to pursue? I mean, Galicians get so involved in the conflict, it's like they don't have anything else to live for anymore. Yeah, what else can they do with riots and violence all around? And each day it just keeps getting worse, with more hate and more death. I prefer not to dwell on it any more than I have to. Yeah, I understand. Indeed, but let's speak of this no more. This is supposed to be a jovial and hopeful evil. And it's a fine evening indeed. Nein, du bist okay, du interessierst dich nicht dafür, das finde ich gut. Mehr oder weniger, aber du wirst keinen grossen Einfluss haben. So, jetzt bin ich gespannt, was wir hier noch werden finden. Rose Hill High. Oh. Stand up for your Galicia, fight for your workers' rights, join Trentor Freedom Force. Freedom Force, das ist einfach falsch gewählt, sorry. Okay, ich würde sagen, es ist Zeit. Ich glaube, wir haben mit jedem geredet. Es sieht so aus. So, gehen wir nochmal durch. Was haben wir bei dem bewirkt? Es ist der Host. Der ist neugierig in unsere Pro-Old Agers Beliefs. Die wollen. Was wollen sie? Okay, das ist das alte Volk. Und ich will, dass die Arbeiten exploited werden. New Ages sind die, die es vorwärts bringen. Ophelia ist mächtig. Über Frauenrechte ist auch okay. Sie ist eigentlich voll okay. Weil wir haben sie eigentlich recht überzeugt, dass es nicht gut ist, dass sie jetzt pushen soll. Der John, der ist eigentlich nicht viel. Scientific okay, der wird sich jetzt seine. Oh Mann, ich muss schnell etwas trinken. Gut, der John, der wird sich jetzt der Wissenschaft zuwenden, der könnte Galicia noch ein bisschen vorwärts bringen. Der Franz, der gefällt mir einfach nicht. Ich glaube, der Franz, der wird sein. Weil der Gary, den haben wir eigentlich auch zum Guten bewegt. Ja, mit der Katharina haben wir ein bisschen ein komisches Gespräch gehabt. Sie ist jetzt interessiert in. Also, eigentlich haben wir allgemein sehr New Age Seite vertreten, würde ich jetzt mal sagen. Pro Wissenschaft und so weiter. Sie haben auch zur Wissenschaft mehr bewogen. Ach, Franz. Ja. Ich hoffe, ich kann bei den meisten Leuten etwas Gutes bewirkt. Und wird mich dafür entscheiden, den Franz umzubringen, weil ich sehe ihm die meiste Gefahr irgendwie. Er hat zwar nicht so viel Macht jetzt, aber potenzieller Terrorist. Es tut mir leid. Ich muss zuerst sicher sein, dass das der Franz ist. Ja, das ist der Franz. Oh. Ja, das ist der Franz. Okay. Franz. Tschüss. Claim Franz Call. Yes. You have made your decision. Press space to continue through the messages. Unexpected death shocks charity gala. A fundraising gala for the benefit of the recently vandalized Rose Hill High School took a grim turn when close to midnight Franz Kohl suddenly collapsed. The cause of death is still unknown, explained Dr. Wimes, but initial analysis suggests heart failure. Franz Kohl was one of the servers at the gala and not a close acquaintance of any of the patrons. The gala's host and CEO of Selden Glassware Incorporated also announced his plans to soften some of his factory policies and cut work hours after some thought-provoking conversations he had that night. Das tönt schon mal gut. Mr. Selden also expressed reluctance to host future galas after a key to his private study room went missing. Das ist nicht so gut. Rose Hill High was only able to raise part of the necessary funds needed for its renovation, remaining just one of many organizations affected by the country turmoils. Okay, es geht aber weiter. TFF finally opens to full diplomacy. Trento Freedom Force, the most radical and violent pro-old age terrorist group in the country, took a strange turn in leadership today, proclaiming young Gary O'Neill, former student from Rose Hill High, one of its new key speakers. Ah Mann, Gary, was soll das? Gary's rather fanatical involvement with the organization was uncovered shortly after a charity gala for the benefit of his school hosted by the successful businessman Bill Selden. Someone once told me diplomacy requires communication. You need better ways of getting your point across, said young Gary. It really made me reconsider my beliefs and questions to the methods employed by the current TFF administrations. Ja, warte, das ist eine gute Wendung. The group, approving of the increased openness of the old age cause expressed by businessmen such as the aforementioned Mr. Selden, combined with Gary's peaceful viewpoints, has been quickly turning toward more diplomatic solutions, for the first time agreeing to consider a ceasefire. Das klingt sehr, sehr gut. New hope for Galicia Connolly's 5-point plan accepted. Yeehaw! Mann, mein Hals. Ja, 4 Episoden am Stück. Ein bisschen viel reden. As many of our readers will remember, Prime Minister Connolly's new 5-point plan, a simple but highly anticipated plan for finally bringing the Galician turmoil to an end, was unveiled a week ago. After a week of strenuous negotiations, the plan was finally accepted this morning, meeting with great enthusiasm by both sides of the conflict, including even the TFF, with its nearest key speaker Gary O'Neill, eager for more diplomatic solutions. This great success in large ways has to be attributed to wealthy business lobbyists following in Selden Glassware Incorporated's footsteps. Noch mehr Wasser. Country's beloved Ophelia Thatcher had little impact on the negotiations, but we can now see she played her cards smart by holding off on her radical pro-women and gay rights agenda. At one of the charity galas I attended, someone reminded me that with all the fighting, speaking out now would only further destabilize the political scene and make me a new target for the hate, explained Ophelia. Now that the two sides are finally sitting at the same table and talking, the ground is much more fertile for social policy changes. Our young Ophelia is indeed shaping to be quite a shrewd politician, much to her parents' pride. Wealthy lobbyists significantly helped the negotiations, by opening up to the old ages, please. Sorry. Oh man. Many businesses have been following in footsteps of Selden Glassware, recently proclaimed one of the top 5 best to work for companies in Galicia after the CEO softened his factory policies and cut work hours. Economists were puzzled by the sudden change of our insider sources, recall Mr. Selden having some very heated debates during one of his charity galas that might have influenced his opinions. While Sheldon's new philosophy might be winning him the old age support, the decreased production has been driving prices up and, contributing to unemployment. With all the senseless violence, it's sad to see the average Galician struggling to afford his groceries and maintain a decent standard of living. The acceptance of the Connolly Plan will hopefully mark a new turn in our country's turbulent future. However, the vandalism of the mixed Rose Hill High School a few months back and failure to raise the necessary funds to renovate reminded us of our lacking institutions to promote long-term reconciliation, and showed that even if the politicians may be nodding their heads, the regular folks are not yet ready to shake the other side's hand. Due to your involvement, the Galician turmoil continued for 2 more years before a ceasefire agreement was brokered. Okay, 2 Jahre, ist okay, immerhin haben sie es geschafft. Ceasefire, wieso habe ich es immer falsch gelesen? Waffenstillstand. The level of violence and random attacks subdued slightly during that time, becoming a bit more manageable. Ja, okay. Also, es ist ein bisschen weniger geworden und ein bisschen mehr steuerbar geworden. Thanks to some influential figures and strong new facilities like Rose Hill High, Galicia remained hopeful as it embarked on the process of rebuilding and reconciliation. The denizens of Hangfors were shocked to find that the random acts of animal violence escalated to human kidnappings and murders. The police are on the lookout for the Hangfors Butcher. Oh Mann, ich habe die Connection nicht gemacht, dass sie die Tiere umgebracht hat. Mann, und ich habe sie noch dazu gebracht, Menschen umzubringen. Das hat die falsch sehen. Sorry. Shit, ich habe sie noch dazu gebracht, ich hätte in die andere Richtung lenken. Fuck. Was kommt jetzt? Franz Kohl. What happened? You're dead. I'm sorry. Oh, why? Powers that be demanded, I claim someone tonight. Why did you choose me? Yeah, you seem the most dangerous. What? How come? Based on both what I discovered and what you said. I guess that will teach me to keep my mouth shut. A little late for that now. Well, are you happy with yourself choosing me to die? Ja, doch, ich glaube, ich habe einen guten Job gemacht. So, what will happen to me now? You will go to heaven or hell? You will be judged for your life's worth and treated accordingly. I suppose that makes sense. What do you think my odds are? Ich glaube so. Gosh darn, that's a little worrying. So I guess I step into the light or something? Actually step into the next room and our secretary will take care of you. Oh, how bureaucratic. I guess I'll ask them more questions. Goodbye. Yeah, cheers. Thank you, I guess. You're welcome. Bye. Interessant, dass wir noch ein After-Death-Gespräch haben. Status closed. Thank you for playing Postmortem and supporting us by buying Extended Cut. We hope you enjoyed it. Replay to see how your actions influence the outcomes and compare them with others by clicking below. Ja, das werde ich machen, aber erst nachdem wir die Aufnahme beendet haben. Mir hat es gefallen, muss ich sagen. Ich habe wirklich immer das Gefühl gehabt, dass ich da etwas kann bewirken in den Gesprächen. Was man, wenn man es jetzt würde vergleichen mit The Walking Dead zum Beispiel. Ich glaube, da bewirken wir mehr als in The Walking Dead möglich ist. Es wäre sicher, also ich habe gelesen, dass sie vielleicht planen, das weiter auszuführen, das Konzept, dass sie weiterführende Sachen machen, was sehr interessant wäre, wenn sich deine Entscheidungen auch weiter würde tragen in den nächsten Chapter oder was auch immer. Auf jeden Fall, ich werde sicher nochmal spielen. Mich interessiert, wie es wird rauskommen, vor allem mit der Ekaterina, die will in eine andere Richtung bewegen. Es geht nicht, dass sie Menschen umbringt und entführt. Oder zuerst entführt, dann umbringt. Der Weg ist vielleicht besser, ja. Ja, in der Beschreibung unten findet ihr den Link, wo ihr das Spiel könnt entweder gratis herunterladen oder kaufen, so wie ich. Ich finde es gut. Was soll ich sagen? Ja, das Spiel ist gut, das ist klar. Aber ich finde es auch gut, wenn man Entwickler unterstützt für gute Spiele. So muss ich sagen. Also, auf jeden Fall vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, ihr habt den historische, kulturelle Ausflug genauso interessant gefunden und spannend wie ich. Und haben auch ein bisschen mitentschieden, wer ihr würdet umbringen. Ja, auf jeden Fall, merci fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Let's Play. Tschüss zusammen.